some top names in the business.
Would they beat Dennis Wolf? Would they beat Ty Green? I could definitely be competing with them.
You should do a weekly show, man.
I like them better when I'm not talking about myself.
You elected on Olympia.
This is the easiest time to win the Olympia compared to other.
What is your game plan now? You know, this is 2024 now, right? Now, since you became a pro, we have some top names in the business, right? Obviously, there's Nick Walker, a big name, big contender. Sam Sandow, big contender. Andrew Jack, and there's many others, of course, right? And when you came in to compete, right? That was like on the tail end of like, you know, like guys like Rudy Winkler, right? Phil Heath was finishing, right? Like, and now these new guys came in. So now you have to battle all of them. What is your game plan, and what do you think you're going to end up doing?
Yeah, I mean, the game plan doesn't change depending on who you go against. If anything, it's just a cool thing that you're right. Like when I did the Olympia, when they bring you out just by number, the first time I ever walked on Olympia stage, I had Rami next to me and Phil on the other side of me. Like there's guys that are competing today that never got to stand next to them, you know, and that's something that's really cool for me that I'm able. I talk about with Nathan Diasha because Nathan's the only person besides me who's competing now who actually went against those guys. But Nathan beat those guys. You know, Nathan was actually battling with them. I just was in the same show. So going against guys now that are a little bit different. I wouldn't say they're not as good because I think Andrew is amazing and Samson's amazing and Hadi is, you know, an incredible bodybuilder. So like your game plan doesn't change. But what my game plan is now that I'm finally healthy, I had hurt my shoulder in Spain pretty bad. It wasn't to where it's like torn. It's not to where it's like career hindering. It's just one of those things that you have to take a lot of time off. So it's just like, and Aceto explained it in a good way, is that I just been doing bodybuilding with a flat tire. Like I beat guys, I win show, but I have this flat tire the whole time. And something's always happening. If I fix that tire, then another tire gets flat. So it just looks like I went to Dubai and then something bad happened. And then I go to Spain and then I get injured. And then now I'm in Vegas and it's like, where is he? Got any shows or anything like that? But I'm doing what you have to do in this sport. You have to heal. Getting on stage with injuries or not, or taking all these drugs to get cut when you're missing body parts, it's just stupid. I don't understand that. The only people who are upset that you don't compete are people that don't really care about you. So I wanted to fix my shoulder because I couldn't even do a front double body. So that's what I was trying to explain to you. If I can't even do the poses, then what's the point? And the other thing that I did, I think, besides my relationship, the biggest crucial thing that I changed in my career is I changed coaches for the first time ever in my life. I've only been with Aceto since I was an amateur. So yes, sometimes we did shows where, yeah, we kill it. Sometimes we did shows where I look really bad. And no matter what, the protocol that we did was the same. It's just my body, either it worked or it didn't. And I just started to realize after a while, my body just wasn't really working with it anymore. So I wanted to try and change it up. So now I've switched to meal. So now to answer your question, a long answer is my game plan is starting new because I've never been with a new coach before, which I kind of like. I have no idea what he's going to do. There's no way for me to kind of anticipate certain things that I know are coming. I have no idea. And the fact that he lives here also in Vegas is something very cool. I'm training with him on Thursday for the first time. That's going to be something really cool. I've never trained with a coach before. And then having someone look at you in person, I think would be a huge deal. But also his peak protocol, his clients, I know is different because also Rafael left Aceto right before I did. And that's somebody that I have been talking to about before I made the decision to go with Neil. How's the process? You know, what does he think? Because he's also someone who's been with Aceto his entire life too. So his opinion was very important to me. And everything that he talks about, it is very different. So no matter what, if you think that I'm going to do something or if you don't, no matter what, the next time I get on stage, I'm going to look different. Because the water protocol, the carb up protocol, it's all completely different than what I've been doing since 2014. So I'm very excited that I have my personal life very healthy, very happy. And now I have a new coach with the science side to bring me in completely different. So I just wanted to get healthy. I'm now training finally, like in the last couple of weeks, very serious. It's just unfortunately the end of the year, so there's not really shows to qualify. So I had thought about doing one of those shows at the end of the year to qualify for next year. But what I don't want to do is I don't want to just jump into a show just because I either have the itch or other people want me to. It's not fair to Neil. I want Neil to have a real full, I usually diet for like 19 weeks, like 5 months. I want him to have that full, chance to learn my body. But also I want to learn too if Neil is the guy for me. I believe he is, and I think so far it's been really great. But if I just jump into a show half-assed, really quick and we try and rush things, and then if it doesn't go well, that's not against Neil. But that would only now mess with my mind. So what I would like to do is take the rest of the year off, keep building, and then get into a show though where I'm standing next to people that are really good. I don't want to take all this time off and then do another Cal where even though Ross was probably the most conditioned guy last year of any show. And Tonio, we know, is a great bodybuilder, but they're smaller guys. So even if I had beat them, it's not like I'm beating anyone that's in the first call out. So what I want to do is take this time off. And then even if I lose, I want to go stand next to the top guys in the sport. So I want to do the Arnold March.
You all the way locked in. You locked in on Olympia. This is your site. This is your future, in your opinion.
Oh yeah, 100%. 100%. I want to focus on winning the Arnold. I just know too much about the sport and realistic to say I'm going to win the Olympia. It's insane. I've seen people that are 100 times better than me never win the Olympia. But I think there's no reason why I cannot win the Arnold. And something that I also got attacked for is this is the easiest time to win the Olympia compared to other Olympics.
Oh man, people are gonna comment on this right here.
Oh yeah, they hate me.
Come on,
They
Sergio, you know they're gonna be.
They hate me because it's like, oh, it's so easy. You suck. And what it is, but if you ask Jay, you ask Ronnie, you ask Phil, you ask all the champions before, what's the hardest era? None of them are going to say now. I think.
But Sergio, this is going to be the headline now, right? Sergio said this is the.
I already know it's Generation Iron. You guys are going to put the clickbait. I already know.
But bro, you said it, man. I'm just saying. I hear you. Of course, people will say that Ronnie Coleman was the craziest era. Of course, I understand what you're saying. I get it. I totally understand.
Yeah, because what I'm saying is like yeah, I can't beat Hadi. I can't beat the top 5. But could this top 5 place in the top 5 of before? Would they beat Dennis Wolf? Would they beat Ty Green? They beat Sean Roden? Even Branch Warren was a badass. Dexter? Yeah. So that's what I'm saying I compare it to. But that's the hardest part for people. And that's the only thing I ask of you guys is you have to remember, I'm also a fan of the sport. I'm giving my opinion as a fan of the sport. I'm not giving my opinion as a competitor or the child of a Mr. Olympia. I'm somebody watching the sport who has watched it for a long time. And I'm saying that if I lived during any of these past champions, there's no way I was going to win. There's no way. So to be alive now, I think it's a failure not to win during this era because it is doable. If I get my together, and get everything right, I can definitely be in that mix and I can definitely be competing with them. They're all ahead of me though. That's the hard part. That's what I try and remind myself is that not only do I have to catch up to them, I have to surpass them. And it's not like these guys are taking breaks. Not like, Nick said it too for a while when people are like, oh, this guy made all these gains. You think that they also didn't make gains? Is everybody just kind of cruising? No, they're not. So I have a lot of work to do and I have a long way to get to it. But it is true though. You throw Ronnie in this lineup, he wins. You throw Phil, Jay, Dorian, Lee Haney. The only tough part is the further you get away from social media, we only have photography pictures. So how big really was Lee Haney? We don't really know.
You think Dorian would win today? Objectively speaking.
I think 2 of the years that he won, he would.
Really? Wow.
For sure. Because there was 2 years that his glutes were really shredded.
Wow.
No, I hear you. I mean, that's could be.
Yeah, just also, but mostly also too because height does play a difference. Hottie and Derek being short, I think Derek has one of the best back doubles, and Hottie he wins almost every side shot. It's just tough when you go against someone who's a lot taller and then has the same back, if not bigger.
All right, Sergio. Well, listen, it was a lot of fun talking to you, man. I really had a pleasure, man. I think, honestly, personally, I think that you should do a weekly show, man. I think a podcast, without even you interviewing people, just you speaking your mind, I feel like it would do well, man. Just you talking, you know?
I like them better when I'm not talking about myself. I know we had to catch up and we had to do stuff like that, but I like talking about the shows or having other people on.
Yeah, just general conversation about what's happening, you know?
I really like that. I know we had to do this to catch up on me and get the Generation Iron fans caught up if they didn't watch other interviews that I've done. But yeah, I hate talking.
I feel like if you you and a co-host just talking about the subject matters, what's happening in industry, I think they would do really well, man. I seriously do. I feel like
I know bodybuilding. I love talking about it. Definitely. I think it'd be a great idea for sure. Where are you at right now?
New York.
Oh, you are in New York, yeah.
Listen, man, great pleasure talking to you. I'm glad that we made up. No grudges, right?
We're good.
No grudges, man. I promise.
And listen, man, feel free to, I'll make sure the guys send you my number. So let's just, if ever any issues or whatever, just text me, okay?
I like the Chicago hat, by the way, too.
I did it for you, man.
Yeah. I was gonna ask you if you even know who that team is.
I know, man. I did it for you, bro. Honestly, man, pleasure talking to you, man. I was looking forward to it.
Thanks, bud. Hopefully I'll see you soon, too, in person.
Absolutely. Thank you. Appreciate it.